Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining again. This is our community Zoom meeting, and our topic today is someone you should know for Black History Month. We did someone last week, and we're going to try to have somebody that's someone you should know in University Park. So we wanted people were nominated to be someone that they wanted to get to know more or get some more information about for whatever reason, just to know our neighbor. We need to know who they are. So if we need any assistance, help, or wanted to ask questions, we know who to go to for all these different particular experiences, and not just with work experience, but personal experiences and family experiences. So we wanted to welcome Katrina Jones as our guest today, for someone you should know in University Park. So the format is basically where we're going to ask Katrina to talk about herself personally, give us a little background on that, and then you can go into your work experience. I mean, no, you can go into your education or any skills you have, and then also your work experience, and then just any affiliations that you're involved with, and then also just based off of all of your experiences and everything that you talked about, how can you help University Park become the community we say we want it to be in general? So I'm gonna leave it over to you. I'm gonna mute everybody if you're not muted, and then Katrina, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm Katrina. I am still new to University Park. I moved here in April of 2018. Prior to me moving here, I used to visit and take my children to the water park because I lived in Will County, but I stayed like on the other side of 394. So this was the closest water park to us. So when I was looking to purchase a home, I looked over here because I remember the water park. But unfortunately, I found out it closed after I purchased my home. As far as education, I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for 21 years. I have 3 children. One is 25, one will be 24. And
motion detected at the front door.
I'm sorry. And the youngest one will be 15. He's in 8th grade at the elementary school, the middle school. I'm sorry, the middle school. And not only do I do, besides nursing, I do body sculpting, which I help individuals who have problem areas like maybe a stomach that they want to get down, or they want to tighten the skin around their arms or their thighs, reduce the cellulite in their certain areas in their body, lymphatic massages to help drain the toxins out your body. I'm also a business manager with the car club. We do like community service, like give out book bags for back to school, Easter baskets. We do things with the homeless, like feed them or, give them toiletries, hat and scarves around the wintertime and stuff like that. I'm trying to go off the top of my head. I'm sorry. As far as me helping the village, whatever y'all need me to do, pitch in with community service, donations, help with seniors, I'm willing to help. I'm an open door, basically.
All right, thank you. So I have questions. So okay, what school did you go to?
For what? Elementary school, high school?
So where, where were you raised? You don't have to say elementary school, but where were you raised? And then did you go to college or trade school?
I was born and raised in Chicago in the Beverly area. High school, I went to Chicago Vocational High School. I majored in business administration in high school. My senior year, I was doing college courses in the evening time. I do have a degree in business administration, but I don't use it. I ended up going to school for nursing, and I went to community college in Chicago.
Okay, that's good. And where do you do your nursing? You say you do you're a traveling nurse, or what is that?
I do home health. I have
Okay.
had patients in University Park prior to me moving over here.
Okay.
Some of our lovely residents I have serviced. I work for Advocate. Are you familiar with the corporation? You know, like South Suburban Hospitals, and you
Right.
know, I work for them in their home health department.
Okay. So when you go to the clients' homes, you check their vitals and different things like that.
Yes, I check their vitals. If they have wounds, I do wound care for them. I am a certified wound care nurse. So that's one of my specialties. I prefer doing wound care than patient teaching. Not that I don't like to do it, but I like to, you know, work. I'm one of the ones that like to work. Most of the time when I go do patient teaching with the patients, they're more like needing someone to be their listening ear, you know. But I do patient teaching and on medications and how to manage their diseases and diets and stuff.
Okay.
But wounds are my specialty. That's my passion.
Okay. And you say you volunteer at a car club. What car club?
I am in Stunting is a Habit. It's
Okay.
it's been around for what, 13 years.
And what do you do with them? You said, I know you say do a
Um,
lot of volunteer work, but what is the car club? I don't really know.
Basically, you know, they're kind of like
I
motorcycle
mean,
clubs,
do
but
you
they're not.
put like an old car in? I'm just saying, I don't know if you have an old car. Do you display? You go to different car shows?
With our club, it doesn't matter what kind of car you have. We're more like a family, and we give back to the community.
Okay.
You know, in the summertime, that's the spring and the summer is our season where we ride, we picnic, we have picnics and barbecues for the communities and stuff like that. And like I said, we do back to school book bags. Around Easter time, we do Easter baskets for like the communities that's like not so privileged.
Okay. And then you said you have the business. How long you had your business?
Um, about 2 years.
2 years. Okay. And what made you get into that?
A lot of people was, you know, couldn't afford to go have surgery, and they wanted to do makeovers. So I found the way to do that with no downtime, no invasive procedures, and they like it. But with COVID, it kind of like slowed my business down.
Is this a home business?
I did have a place in Richton Park, but I end up moving it to my home. I'm looking into doing it in Flossmoor I just had a business interview with this lady who's opening up a wellness center in Flossmoor. So I had a business interview with her to discuss me coming over there to do my body sculpting.
Okay. Is that something you want to make it full time, or are you still going to do the nursing?
It all depends on how well it goes. But again, nursing is my passion. That's what I've been doing for 21 years. But I can always work it into my schedule.
Right. I don't know if anybody else had questions. I don't want to take it all up. Go ahead, Mary. You got to unmute yourself.
My question to Katrina is, I heard you said that you did things for like flabby arms. You sculpt the flabby arms.
Mm-hmm.
For senior citizen or for me. See all this flab here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's bothering me. And it's been bothering me. And there is a surgery that you can have, but I don't think I'm going to do that. And I know there's certain exercise. So what do? is there an exercise that you give out or you have someone to do? Or how do you handle that problem?
With that,
And the crepe skin, the crepe skin. And this usually happens to older people. So
it happens to people who gain weight and lose weight too, not just older people.
okay.
Well, with my procedures, I do a skin tightening procedure. It helps stimulate the collagens that help tighten skin. And then I suggest my clients to use like a firming cream and take a collagen supplement.
So, and where do you get, is it your supplement or is it a supplement that you are aware of, that you know about? And are you certified to do this?
Yes, I'm certified to do the body sculpting procedures. Normally I just tell them to go to a health food store and get a supplement. I don't sell supplements. I just recommend you go to a health food store and get a supplement.
So is there anyone you could refer someone to, like they've had those flabby arms and you can see the results after you have worked with them for a while?
I do have pictures of clients that I have done procedures on, and I can show you.
Okay.
Or you can go on my business website and see pictures of my work.
So what is your website?
I
I
posted it on Nextdoor.
Okay.
But I can actually, if you're on Nextdoor, I can look you up and I'll send it to you.
Oh, yeah, I'm on Nextdoor. It's Marianne, Alexander, or Griffin, either one. I'm interested in that, and I've inquired with some surgeons and that do facelifts and arm lifts, but I really am more concerned about the arms, and I really didn't want the knife. That's the way you can do it quickly. But I may want to try you. Or is your fee astronomical?
No.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you run across many decubitors?
Decubitus ulcers?
Yes.
All the time.
How do you deal with that?
You talk about as far as tolerating to see bones and tendons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I'm sorry. If I'm sounding weird, it's fascinating to me to actually see that and then to work with that and watch the tissue grow back. You know, like most people have a green thumb and they passionate about growing plants. I don't have that. But when it comes to wounds, I have had wounds where you can actually see the bone.
Yes.
And by the time I finished with that patient, it was completely closed. It may have scar tissue over it, but it was closed.
I've seen a decubitus that was so big in the buttocks that I could put my fist right in there. It was I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable.
And now they have what we use a lot with those type of wounds is wound vacs, where we put a foam inside the wound and seal it and put a vacuum on top of it, and it sucks. It causes negative pressure to pull the tissue to start to grow. Wow. So a lot of our wounds like that, if it's not, there's no infection in the wound or in the bone, they put on wound vacs, and we see those patients 3 times a week.
What is that called again, Mildred? What did you ask her about? I didn't quite understand.
Decubitus ulcers. Decubitus ulcers. Bed sores. Real bad bed sores.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Any other questions for Katrina?
Yeah, I have a question, Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's Lolita. Listening to you on Nextdoor is really the reason why you stood out to me. On Nextdoor, I listened to your answers, your pros and cons on the various subjects, whether it was the virus and the vaccine, and then learning too that you were a registered nurse, another nurse in our town of University Park. It's a blessing seeing and learning different people who are nurses. It's amazing. I didn't even know that. But I really liked how, we had our conversation on the various subjects, and then you would come out and you made me think that, oh, well, there's another side of the story. Of course, when we're talking about your own immune system, you stressed about how your own immune system is able to handle this or that. Even vaccines are the virus. And people say that they got sick from the vaccine or they got sick from the virus. But basically the vaccine, and how you stressed and told us, you know, as well as we're learning that this vaccine, it's been studied, but it's still is not known as well when it came to us using it on humans, because of the fact that I know, President Trump pushed this, but mRNA was not known on a regular basis like all the other vaccines that we took. So that was interesting to learn about that. But I wanted you to expand more about when you were saying not just some of the stuff that the doctors were giving us, but how to improve your immune system, how to improve your own immune system. Because sometimes people had a reaction to a vaccine and it wasn't the vaccine, it's more so your immune system. Some people didn't have any reaction, some people had a reaction, and so they just blame it on the vaccine. And so I liked what you said on Nextdoor. I wanted you to expand more on and what some of the things that you were saying that are natural herbs and et cetera that you could be taking instead of, you know, so if you can expand on that for me.
So to give you a brief background of me personally, my great grandmother, she was part Native American. So basically she did a lot of natural things. If we caught a cold, here come the cod liver oil and the Vicks vapor rub. It wasn't no cough medication. It was basically natural stuff. She didn't have none of her children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren vaccinated. She didn't believe in it. So I never had a vaccine. Never. This was my first vaccine ever, and my body didn't respond to it like some other people. I did have COVID twice. The first time I had it, I had only fevers and I lost my sense of taste. The second time I had it, no symptoms at all. And this was prior to me getting vaccinated. I basically was forced to get vaccinated because it was either get vaccinated or don't get vaccinated and lose my job. And that's my livelihood. That's how I make sure my child is taken care of, pay my bills and make sure I still have a roof over my head. So I'm 42 years old, don't have no major medical issues. All I do is take vitamins and supplements. I work out and I eat healthy. Fresh fruits and vegetables or frozen fruits and vegetables. I stay away from a lot of processed foods. I don't eat fried foods. All I eat is chicken, fish, and turkey. So as far as building your immune system, there's supplements out there that help you to build your immune system if you don't get it from your diet. If you have any type of diseases or ailments, try to manage them and make sure they are under control, because that affects your immune system. Stress can affect your immune system. Bad habits like smoking, drinking, drugs can affect your immune system. So basically, to build your immune system and keep it healthy, you got to do things that they not telling you all to do, like eat right. Buying healthy food it is expensive versus buying junk food, but at the end it's worth it, and you'll live longer, be more healthier. As far as your home, I have an air filter in my home to make sure my home is purified, because I have a child and I do have pets. And as you know, children and pets carry germs. So I try to keep my house clean and fresh.
Katrina, I want to ask you a question regarding vitamins. There are pros and cons on vitamins. Now, I see that you are for people taking vitamins. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
Okay, so I love my doctors, but I don't take vitamins. And so I asked her to recommend me a vitamin. And she said, well, I can suggest a vitamin. However, I cannot recommend vitamins. Now, I found that kind of strange, but still, I said, well, okay, then forget it. I mean, I'll find my own vitamin. But can you expound on that for me, please?
How can I say this and not sound doctors want to push prescription medications.
Okay.
They want to push prescription medications. And like I explained to you, your diet, it has vitamins in it, but a lot of people are not eating right. So that's when the vitamins come in to boost what you're missing from your diet. Most doctors want to push medicine, prescription medicine, push it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in nursing school, one of my teachers said, this is her quote: "We would not have jobs if there were not sick people." I didn't ask her what she meant about that, but I kept it in my mind. When I started working after I graduated and I started working as a nurse, I learned that they're making us sick.
I hear you. Mm-hmm.
They're making us sick, so that way we got to go to the doctor. The doctor got to prescribe us this medication. That medication may cause another problem, so you got to go back to the doctor and they got to prescribe this medication to offset this medication, this, that, and the other. And then on every corner, there's what? A fast food restaurant. There's diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol, and it ranks high in our community, because when we don't want to cook at home, where we go? McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, all these stuff, not knowing all these toxins that they putting up in there, that's causing us to get sick. So yes, I'm an advocate for vitamins, because we don't get that in our diet because we don't eat healthy. So we got to take supplements to get what we're not getting in our diets.
So is there a particular vitamin, and I don't mean to harp on senior citizen, but because I'm a senior citizen, I am getting older and older and older, and we are all getting older. But I know I can't take a vitamin that a 20-year-old will be taking. I don't know, but I'm just saying, could you
It
suggest?
has Centrum Silver for the wiser population.
For the
I don't
wise?
say seniors. I say wiser.
I like that. I like that. So it's called what again?
Centrum Silver.
Okay. I'm gonna pick that. And is there a certain amount of milligram? And if you have to, I know you're giving me free information, but I can always call you and do a consultation if you want to as well. So I don't want you to do anything.
My advice is free.
Oh, well, thank you, darling, for giving more.
My advice is free.
Okay.
My advice is if you have any questions about health and all that other stuff, what you can do to better your health, that's free.
And I believe that Centrum Silver comes in just one particular milligram.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does. It comes
So
in. It just
right.
you know, yeah, it does.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions from Miss Katrina?
I don't really have. Well, I missed the introduction, so this is Gina. I came in late.
Hey, Gina.
Hey,
Doing?
Katrina. Hi, I'm good. I just wanted to know, do you watch that? It's a new show that comes on with K. Michelle, and it's called My Killer Body.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I watch like medical shows.
Well, in a way, it is medical because what she's showing, she had a really bad experience from the, getting the
butt
big
implants.
butt, yeah. And so now she has a show where all these different women come on, and they all tell their stories. You get to see how their body looked, and you see the tragedies that some of them have been faced with because they got silicone this, or they got a butt lift, or they got a different tummy tuck, and it's just really it's really a good show to watch. So if you're into those type of shows, it shows you the befores, the after, the in between, what happened, and everything. So I just was curious if you watch that, because I think it comes on, I want to say it might come on tonight or tomorrow night, but it's really good. It's really an eye opener to see what some of these women have done to try to improve their looks, and some of the fights they've had to go through, the struggles and everything.
Well, I will check it out, but I actually see it in person. I actually see it in person with, I have had clients that come to me after they done had botched implants or botched surgeries. Also have patients who have caught infections from going to have surgery because they wanted bigger breasts or bigger butts, or they didn't had tummy tucks and it went wrong. So I've seen it in person, but it sounds like an interesting show, so I will look into it.
Okay.
Thank you.
What time is it on?
It's on Thursday.
Yeah, it's on Thursday, and I think is it on Lifetime?
Yes.
It's on, it's really good though.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever saw that other show called Botch, where they have the two doctors, the two surgeons, and they correct different things that people have had. But I like this show with Michelle, K. Michelle, with the different women and what they went through and stuff. So it's really good.
I haven't seen one person that had the surgery that came out good.
And that's one thing about my
right. That's what I'm going to ask you, Katrina. When clients come to you looking to do the surgeries or inquiring about that, how do you talk to them? How would you counsel them or consult them with what your program does?
I basically tell them, I give them the pros and cons of surgery. Yeah, you have surgery, you may get the look that you want, but you got to go through downtime, 6 weeks of this, 6 weeks of healing. You got tubes coming out of you. With my procedure, there's no downtime. You may not see the results as fast as you want to, but it's a process. And with surgery, there's a chance that you can gain all that weight back just as fast as you lose it, especially if you're not willing to work to keep your body looking the way you done paid all these thousands of dollars to look like. Yeah, it's a slow process, but also you don't want to send your body into shock with removing all that fat or adding stuff that's not natural. All my stuff is natural. I'm doing things to cause your body to speed up your metabolism, drain the toxins out your body, stuff that not surgeons do. They'll suck the life up out of you and you didn't pay them $10,000. And if something goes wrong, and you will have to go back to that surgeon, because there's no doctor that wants to correct what somebody else did, because they don't want to be held liable just in case you want to sue if anything goes wrong.
Dolores, I see you did you want to say something, or you just want to say what the date the show came on?
No, I just want to say that it do come on Thursday. I believe it's around 8 o'clock,
Okay.
between 7 and 8. Yeah.
Okay.
But I did want to say something, Katrina, about that. I guess it's different surgery that you can get for like your tummy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it.
But my procedures are non-invasive. It's non-invasive. It doesn't hurt. Again, there's no downtime. Like after you come for your treatment, you can go and do whatever you want to do. You won't be laying up in pain and wrapped up in bandages and tubes hanging out of you.
So you're saying there's no cutting?
No cutting. I'm not a surgeon. No cutting.
Yeah.
These hands heal wounds, not cut.
So your body contouring process is a one treatment, or is it multiple treatments that a person
I tell my clients to at least start off with 4 treatments. 4 treatments on their weekly treatments. And in between treatments, you still like exercise and eat right. Even if you have surgery, you still got to exercise and eat right. Just because you got that tummy sucked up out of you, you can't go eat 10 White Castle burgers and think you're not going to gain that weight back.
So what is your procedure? How do you do yours?
What is it called again? I came in late to y'all. What's it called again?
I do body sculpting. Non-invasive body sculpting. I use laser therapy to it helps burn and break down the fat cells. You don't feel it. You don't feel it at all. There's no, it's painless. And then after that, I do ultrasonic fat cavitation. So it liquefies the fat cells that I just burned.
Okay.
And when I do the lymphatic massages, that's how it's excreted out your body through your lymphatic system. So you're peeing and pooping out your fat.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I also sell waist trainers.
And this body sculpting, is it, because it sounds like a broad category, is it? Body sculpting just sounds so broad. Is it a specific procedure, or is that procedure called body sculpting?
And that's what it's called, body sculpting. Like, so for instance, you want to get your arms smaller. I work on the arms. You want to get your stomach smaller, your back smoother, your thighs smoother, smaller. I work on that.
What is the procedure? What do you do? How do you work on it?
I have a machine that I use. I have the laser pads that I put on you for like 30 minutes, and it targets your fat cells. And then after that, I have the ultrasonic cavitation wand that I rub over the area where I did the laser treatment, and I do lymphatic massages so we can get your lymphatic system moving to excrete the fat cells that I broke down.
Now, where
Okay,
is
so
all
you
of this
would do
being
that.
done?
Do that
Huh?
Where is all of this being done? At your,
for her house.
what clinic? Or
Right now, I do it out of my house. I did have an office out in the Richmond Park, but me and my business partner, we left that place. So I started doing it out of my house. But I did have a business meeting today and with this lady who's opening up a wellness center in Flossmoor on Roma Road. So I
You may
may
be moving
be
there.
doing the procedures there, but right now I'm doing it from my home.
okay.
Are you insured, Katrina?
Yes, I'm insured.
Okay.
What is the educational requirements that makes you certified?
I went to training.
What kind of training?
Where did you go for training?
Where did I went this one of my schoolmates, she did the training for me, and she was doing it in Indiana, so I was training in Indiana. She had a wellness center in Indiana.
What's the name of your business?
Bougie Body.
Bougie Body.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Katrina?
So Katrina, you don't know the name of the
Hold
training?
on, hold on, Robin. Oh, go
Okay.
ahead, Robin. Then after that, Lolita, you was on mute. Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry. It's
Okay.
body sculpting.
No, she said, do you know the name of the training? Like if someone else wanted to go and do body sculpting, what classes or training
Right.
would they need to do, or where would they, what are some of the classes that they would need to do? Is it just a 2 hour? Is it an 8 hour? Is it like 10 hours of training?
Basically my training was 6 weeks.
Okay.
It was 6 weeks because it's basically hands-on. You do the training on, you got the educational part, how to work the machines, how to work the machine, why is it breaking it down and all of that? So yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. But there's different places that, yeah, you get a certificate
afterwards. Okay.
Yeah. But there's other places that offers the training. You just gotta research it.
Okay.
I can imagine the equipment is expensive.
Yes, it is.
Like, how's it expensive?
It's over $200.
Over 200?
It all depends on which machine that you get. It all depends on machine that you get. All the machines are not the same.
Okay.
Lolita, you had a question?
Well, 2 questions, but one question pertaining to this. You said you also tell people who come to you different, I guess, ointments or whatever to get at the store, along with trying to deal with the body fat in your arms or your stomach. is there some kind of ointment or something that you would put on your stomach after you do all those machine?
Yeah, I do have after I do my procedure, I put this cream on you. This is my personal one. This is not the one I use for my clients, but I have one that I use for my clients. I put this on you and I wrap you up in like a cellophane. It helps induce the sweat to help sweat out the toxins.
Sometimes you can read about different drinks or whatever that you can, or pills that help absorb or help you pee or poop out the fat and get it to dissolve easily. Is this kind of the same concept of things that you would tell us to go to the health store to purchase?
To help detox you?
Right.
Yeah. I do recommend supplements and stuff like that, to help, with the process, or to help with building your immune system and stuff like that. I do recommend supplements. And I'm not going to tell you something that I don't do. And it's been working for me.
Katrina, what about those I've seen on Facebook, just scrolling down sometime, I see that there's medicines that can actually go in and actually start burning off all of that fat?
Well,
or that really right away, I didn't go in and look at that whole long video.
Those look. I use apple cider vinegar tablets and cayenne pepper.
Okay, and those are just normal. Those work anyway, the apple cider vinegar. But you don't know those pills that I'm talking about, or like a lot of people are promoting, that
keto
actually goes right to the fat on the inside of the stomach and supposedly burning that right off. Do you know anything about that?
Isn't it called keto or
keto?
Yeah,
the keto pills.
There's so many of them, actually.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't see that beet thick stuff, and I just go scroll right past that stuff because you go on there and read the comments, and you don't know if them people are real or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So me personally, I do the apple cider vinegar tablets and the cayenne pepper. The cayenne pepper helps with circulation, and it also helps break down the fats.
Katrina, Marianne, listen, what about aloe vera? Do you recommend that, the aloe vera?
I do use aloe vera for like dark spots.
Okay.
No, I learned about aloe vera from my great grandmother. I told you she was a naturalist. We get a burn on a hand. Go get a piece of aloe vera plant.
Exactly.
I also drink it. I put it in my tea.
Yeah, I have a
I do a green tea every morning, and I put aloe vera in my tea.
Would you recommend putting it in your coffee?
I don't know about that one. I don't know. I don't know about that one because it got a
I know.
It's not gonna do anything if you put it in your coffee. It'll be the same, Marianne, as if you put it in your tea. It's not gonna react to it. It's not gonna react to it. The aloe vera is more like for smoothing or rejuvenating tissue, so it's not going to affect any different in a coffee than it would a tea.
Okay.
I never tried it in coffee. I always do it in my tea.
Well, I'm going to try it in both and see which one I like the best.
You let me know how it works in your coffee.
I don't know, but yeah, come on.
Yeah. Well, that's like me with the apple cider vinegar. I could put it in my sweet tea or something like that, but I never tried putting it in coffee.
That would be an acquired taste.
I'm going to acquire that taste.
Yeah, I'm immune to apple cider vinegar. So I'm used to it.
I don't do the liquid because I can't stomach that taste,
Mhm.
and it's just like burns going down, even though they said mix it with honey and all that. I
Mhm.
just do the capsules and just let it work from the inside.
What about
Yeah.
when you buy the aloe stalk? You can just cut that off and put it on your body and on your face. Just use that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I do. Yeah.
And Dolores turned me on to the apple cider vinegar gummies. So those taste a little bit better. They're a little gummy.
You do the goalies?
Yeah, I do the goalies too.
Mhm. But I'm so used to the drink, so I mix it with my juice or my tea. So I'm immune to it, so I can drink it. Doesn't bother me. And then I have kidney stones, so I need to mix it with water to dissolve the stones a lot faster. So I'm used to it.
Well, I drink the beet powder. I love it because it circulates real good.
Yeah.
So
So I
what?
see it's a lot of people here that does natural things, which I like that. You know, being healthy is the key factor into living longer.
Yeah. I know my finger was kind of not circulating. So when I did my workout, I drink the 8-ounce glass of beet powder. And I say about in 2 days, I had my feeling back.
That's good. I know someone that does the beet juice.
Motion
That's what
detected at the front door.
Yeah.
Let's get us a health food store, ladies, and start off.
You know, that would be great to have like a health food store that, you know, and a gym, so I don't have to travel all over the world to go to the gym. I can just go right in my backyard and work out. We need that. We need that, and park districts for the kids, and we need a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, not the park district.
We don't really need a park district.
We don't need a park district.
Right. Let me
It's
just
a
throw that in
recreation
there.
center.
you know, like when I first moved out here, my son was a little bit younger. So like when summer hit and he needed activities, I had to go to Richton Park, to their park district for summer camp. You know, they offer summer camp, you know, like, or, you know, other programs that for kids that not into sports. My son is not into sports. He's more into electronics and stuff.
Well, I understand that there is a need in our community for youth programs and activities. I definitely agree. But just through a park district for a community of less than around 6,600 residents is a lot for us the taxpayers that are paying property taxes that will increase. And we know that the village received before they was handling all of the park districts, the park programs in University Park under the money that they were receiving. So they still have the funds to do this. They just choose not to. That's the problem. And that's where we just want to emphasize that we want all of those programs. We tried to Mildred Starr, she's not on here anymore, trying to get the Young Broadcasters program going back up. They refuse, which is at the cable station. So the youth can learn how to do the filming, the video, the editing. We tried to get that started back for free, but they didn't want to fund it. So it's things that we have asked. And even like we did the youth doing the summer program to work in the community, helping with the gardening. A lot of these different things have been there, even with different programs that we want to have, but they just do not want to approve of these programs, even if it's just sports. Even in sports, you're saying we got sports, but the sports is not funded or done.
Did she get bumped off? Oh, she froze.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that not to try to throw it off on somebody else. And that's the problem. So that's why I wouldn't, and it would increase our taxes. And if you look at park districts are consisted of, it has a certain population. And it also has a certain amount of revenue coming in. And our village do not have that revenue coming in to support those programs. So yeah, yes, us as a village, us as our village can support a program where we can get things going on in University Park. So not just with the park district.
If I may share something with you, my daughter, she's a second grade teacher, and she put it on the next door. She wanted to have a bike club for the little ones. There would be a certain trail every morning or in the afternoon, get a bunch of kids, get on your bike. It was going to be her, she's a teacher, and another teacher friend. And that's really good for the kids to get out on their bikes. I placed it up, and I think there's a fee, but it wouldn't be that much. But if we could do it through the park, it would be great. She's been trying to get this going, but she has the teachers, she can get the students, but none of the parents responded. So I told her maybe she should take it on her own and just try it out first on a free basis, and see how many kids will come, and we go for that, because she is really good with children. She's one of the best teachers I've ever known. And I'm just being what it is. And so that's what she's been wanting to do forever. And she could do a lot out here because she's known for her stuff like that. And that bike, kids on bikes and doing the trails and stuff. Oh, that's fabulous. That's great.
That's good exercise. That's good exercise.
Yes.
There's nothing out here for the kids to do after they get out of school during the summertime, but wreak havoc. Do mischievous things. If they had programs that was out there for them in the village, I believe that they would go to it.
Oh, sure they would.
Absolutely, because right now I'm taking my children out of the community on a daily basis to have different programs that they're working on, and a lot of parents and a lot of grandparents are doing the same thing. But it's just kind of like making sure the focus is there, because we have the village has the most, but they're doing the things that they want to do, but it's not youth oriented.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
so they can have all those different programs where it's like music lessons and they can have this going on and this going on for the youth programs for the summertime, but they have their own plan of what they want,
And well, I think the bike thing would be just fantastic, because children love to ride on their bikes, and you have trails. There are certain trails that you can go on. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Then you have like teenagers that's in the community that can like run like the summer programs. Get them a little pocket money for the summer, teach them how to, work and be responsible. There's different things out there that can happen, but it's like, we shouldn't have to take our children and give our money to other towns and communities to entertain our children. Or I spent over $1,000 just for 6 weeks for my son to go to summer camp in Richton Park.
Yeah.
Because I had to pay out of district fees.
Yeah.
And I had to pay before care, because some days I had to be at the office early because we had a meeting, so I had to pay for before care. But over $1,000 just for 6 weeks.
It hasn't always been like that out here in University Park.
I know.
My children, when we came here, they were 2 and 7. And there was always lots of things. And my husband and I got them involved in the array of things that was here. And, but those things just disappeared. They didn't, I say from 2011 on, everything just vanished.
Yeah.
Just vanished.
And all of that function with not being in without a park district. So all of that stuff was occurring without
That
a
was without it being a park district. If we
Right.
got a park district, that's more money in taxes. And we holler about, we don't want our taxes to go up, but it's for sure gonna bring it up. And what is it to say that it won't be, that it will be successful?
I think it would be successful because we have a lot of people moving in with children.
Okay, but
Then we
what will have to happen is you would have to hire, people to work the park districts.
you,
Uh,
you
there's,
I mean,
uh,
like if you offer like, you hire within the community people who that has like backgrounds in certain things, that'd be like something part-time for them. It's not a full-time position.
But you're still hiring along
I-
with the maintenance and all. But if you go ahead on and put those things that we once had, put those things back in place. It's inexplicable as to why we don't still have young broadcasters. That was really, really fascinating for the children. And we tried real hard to talk with Neva to get that started. We had meetings with the mayor, and he doesn't seem to be interested in that. He seems to be just interested in car shows and outings and things at the golf course, while the golf course has not been open to the public. Um, he wants to throw a party for the kids and give them some little cheap book bags and things of that nature. Yeah, and I don't mean to say it like that, but it's the truth. And he thinks that he's done something, and that's not, he's not listening to the people. He's not listening to the people at all.
So, Ms. Millie, the thing is, does anybody know of a village that has a park district that's only got 3 parks?
That's owned by the
Sorry.
what?
That's
Huh?
what.
Say it again, Robin.
That only has 3 parks.
And
That's
she said that only has 3 parks.
3 parks. No.
That's
No,
what
we
I'm
don't really-
saying. 3 parks is not enough to talk about a park district. I've never seen it done. I don't know any villages that only have 3 parks that would do that. So that's what makes it not beneficial. And you would lose money. You don't have enough parks for that. That's for places that have a lot of parks. Like Chicago Heights, they have at least 12, 15 parks. Yes, they need it, not for 3. That's the thing.
And we don't have the finances. We don't have the money, a budget to be paying park district staff, maintenance, and all those things that come included with that. To me, it would be a no-go because it's another taxing body, and it's just a way for him to look for ways to put his family and friends on payroll because, as you know, they have their clique. So you would see the Keeleys, the Deborah Strouds, the same people that already are doing things with the community garden. They would be the same people he would have handpicked to run those positions and things. So no.
Now, what I thought that too, what I need to find out, because I believe, Donna, you were saying something different, right? Donna was saying that she thought she was under the impression that all of those things, that the park district will be like as an election through.
No, the board members, right? The board members will have to be elected. So no one is
Right.
going to just put into a position. If it was a park district, each one of those board members have to run to fill that whichever position that they have. How many seats that they decide on, they would have to run and be elected to those positions. Now, I feel that whatever we do, we're going to have to hire people in order to run these programs for some of them. So, although we're saying we don't have the money, the village does have the money. That's the problem. That's what I'm stating. The village does have the money to hire people to work these programs, either if it's part-time or full-time. So they have it. They just choose not to use it on the youth. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. They have money and we don't ever see it.
Well,
Exactly.
if there's not a park, just what about a community center?
That's what we really need.
We're
And
in favor of a community.
that
Yeah.
that's exactly where what I'm saying. Like even for like I would think that they should be focusing on me personally. I don't think they need to do the pool, fix the pool and spend $1 million on the pool to get the pool fixed that only is utilized 3 to 4 months out of a year and that it really brings in any revenue. It didn't bring in any revenue at the time. Why not use that $1 million to build a community center and where they could have swimming inside that could be used all year round. They could have the basketball court, so we wouldn't have to take our kids over to the other communities. They would have they would have the rooms where we could have the exercise classes, we could have the programs, the karate classes. That's what they need to put that $1 million into, is building a community center where it will also take care of the employees, the payment of the employees as well. And it'll be bringing in revenue because the residents will get membership. So why focus on fixing a pool? We could utilize that land for something else, to me. But I would not, me personally, wouldn't want the pool to be fixed. I want that money to be used for the community center where everybody in the community can use it, because I know I'm not going down that pool, that slide myself personally. And it's only utilized 3 to 4 months a year, and it's not bringing any revenue. So
And if you look at where the pool is situated, it's too much trees, too much shade.
I would like for that area to be a nature center.
It's too much shade.
To be a nature center.
There's too much shade that won't give you the full sun.
Right.
If anything, if the kids want to play in water, right over here at Palmer Park, you have this great big, it's a lot of land over there. Put one of those water sprouts.
Splash pad.
Splash.
Trustee Sonia Jenkins was saying change the pool into a splash pad area where it's be a lot less cheaper to do,
I don't even think, to me, that's, I wouldn't think that's a lot to deal with. That's a building. It's right there in all the little wood area. It has the little walking paths. If they was to cut that area down and bring back the walking paths, that facility, that building can be fixed up and be used as a nature center, right? That's your nature center. And we need to get a recreation center, a community center where it has all those other programs where we could do everything and also bring in revenue, and it'd be afforded. So that's what I would say. Why waste $1 million trying to get a grant to fix a pool when we could utilize where everybody can be able to use the pool at a community center, because they can go and get and go swimming all year round.
But if you put that,
I have a question, Donna. Can anybody write up a grant or does it have for the community of University Park, the village of University Park? Does writing up a grant have to come from the powers that be, or could we as ladies, could we write up grants? I don't know anything about writing grants. Couldn't somebody, just a regular person resident that lives in University Park, couldn't they write grants and it's for certain things without going through the mayor and the village what?
No, because the funding, because that is village owned land. So we can't write a grant for somebody that's for land that is owned by somebody else. You can help assist if you wanted to say, hey, here's a grant that I recommend you all applying for that would help us get this, then you can help give that information. But actually writing it up and saying, okay, we're going to get it ourselves, no, not for someone else's land or property.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Katrina, I didn't want to, you had a question or something? Okay. I didn't know if I know you said you didn't know, I don't know about the time wise, but you're welcome to stay on, but I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge you and thank you for coming on, to being somebody that we should know in University Park and giving us this information and advice and giving us your background, because, like Lolita was saying, that when she's seen a lot of things that you posted, about the nursing, about the virus and stuff like that, that was intriguing to her, and she learned some information. So we want to make sure that we know who our residents are at University Park. So if we have questions about certain things, we could reach out to that person. And that's what it's all about. So that's part of being a community and being a family. So we want to thank you for joining us, and hopefully you'll join other times. So I just wanted to make sure we put that out there before we go into something else, in case you have to leave.
Yeah.
And to go into something else, Katrina, another thing that attracted me to you was during elections, since we're talking about politics, you did put your name in, and I was wondering why you did it late, putting your name in. And was it just a spare of a moment because you were a write-in instead of going through the routine, the proper procedures, you end up being a write-in? And would you be interested in running again for any position? Because you were too late then, but now you know the proper procedure to do this. And would you be interested in running again?
I learned about the position late, so that's why I was ended up being a write-in. I learned about the position later. Other than that, I would have went through the proper channels to do what I had to do to actually get on the ballot. But politics, I don't think I'm running for any position, nothing. I'll be there to help, listen, be the voice of reason, but running for office, whoo, you all are some powerful people, especially you, Miss Millie. You all are some powerful people.
What did I do?
You all will, like, literally, if they promise you that they will not sneeze wrong and they sneeze wrong, you gonna get on them. No. I'm not gonna make promises that I know I can't keep. That is not me. I don't make promises that I cannot keep. I'm not gonna say I'm a promise to do this. If I say this is what my platform is gonna be based on, that's exactly what I'm gonna focus on. But to promise all this other stuff, and if it doesn't happen, here you all come. I mean, y'all coming with pitchforks and frying. Y'all coming. I sit back and I be like, oh my God. I'm so glad I didn't promise nothing. And I went back on my words because y'all hang people.
What did she say? I didn't get that last part.
We
hang people.
Y'all hang people.
Man, I mean, it's good that y'all put fire under people's feet, but boy, man, I'll probably go in the corner and cry. Like, oh my gosh.
But here's
what you're saying that, Katrina, that questions me as to why did you even bother? Did somebody tell you to run? Because at that time people were messing up the ballot, the number of people on the ballots. Did somebody tell you to put your name in, or
no? Because I wanted to do something, be a part of something in the community, and also I wanted to be there for my son, be a voice of reason from my son and other students that was going through some of the things that my son was going through with the bullying and all that other stuff.
I gotta ask.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you know that before? Why such a late come in?
No, I did not know. I did not know. I found out later on. I didn't know.
But you had the passion to continue and do a write-in, so that's why I was wondering. You had that compassion to go ahead, even though you learned you were late. So why did that turn you off? I mean, you wrote in, so you were interested. So then why did you back away? Why are you backing away now?
No, I would not run for no trustee or mayor of no village. No, I can't. I don't want that response. That's just too much responsibility. And like I said, I'm not going to sit there and promise something to the community and then I can't fulfill my promise because there's other people blocking or there's nobody going to work with me to fulfill these promises. As you can see what's going on now.
But here's the thing, I got to say this. Nobody should make promises that they can't keep. Nobody
Huh?
should, nobody should make promises that they can't keep.
Exactly.
You
That's
know,
why I said I don't
people,
make promises I can't keep.
people remember what politicians or candidates say, and we
Mhm.
look for that. That's what make us choose you. You know, and then when you get in there, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed with the board that we have. All of us are. We're disappointed with the mayor because we've never seen, and we've been here for some years. I've been here 33 years, and I've never seen anything like this. So when someone comes in late, and we're talking about real late, we wonder why. We're always thinking, you know, why is this person doing this? The things that you're talking about as to why you came in, didn't you know that a year ago before that, before the election came? So we wonder, why did you come in so late? Because people will do things to upset the vote.
Mhm.
And
Stack
people,
the ballot, right? They stack the ballot with the people that they want in to help spread out the votes. So that's what it's a political thing that they do to bring in people that even though they know they don't want to run, but the more people in there, it is spread it out, or they're bringing the people that they want in. So that's part of called, you know, a political thing, strategy that they
and
do.
even though that person may not even have a chance,
Hmm.
but you've taken some of the votes.
Right.
Well,
That's a favorite thing to do here in University Park. And that is put a whole bunch of people in there. So little bit get here and there, and it dwindles down to whatever opportunist saw how it worked out. So, and that's not fair because see, we're serious about our lives. You know, none of us are running for anything. We're not looking for any jobs here. We want a clean, safe village, and we're not getting that. And it's because people are playing games. They're playing games, and it's not fair to us.
well, in the case of the teachers, the school board, I think it was only Katrina and Todd Hall, and maybe I don't even know that, and I guess Brenda Mitchell ran, so it wasn't really stacking it there because there wasn't that many people interested in running for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the
But
school board, it was just the two, but we were
yeah,
just
it
stating in
wasn't.
general,
Yeah, it was
political
just
wise,
the two.
that's
Right.
what they
So
do to
yeah.
bring in a lot of people so the vote can be spread it out.
Mhm.
But it doesn't really matter what position you're trying to run for. If you're running for a position, your heart is in there. Like Katrina said, the reason why. So the heart was there. It's just, it's probably always been there. It's just she jumped in there too late. So a valuable person who probably should have been on the board is now not on the board because she did the process too late. And that's the part that's a shame. It's still, whether it was a school board or whether it was running for office, trustee or mayor, you're still a question of, well, why you're going for a position, why didn't you learn the proper procedures before you put your name in?
Mhm.
And then even if you did do it late and you were a write-in, why aren't you coming back putting your name in? So
Mhm.
there's always been a question in my mind as to why did you start something and didn't finish it? That's
Yeah, well, she just told us why.
right. I know that.
She
That's
just
why I
told
asked
us.
the question.
because she knew we
but
she knew we were gonna attack like we do.
but just
Like we do.
She didn't know, but now she like,
Come
I'm
on.
gonna stay clear of this politics.
Yeah, because
I mean,
I'm
because
ready.
again, like if like I said, if I promised that I was gonna do something and then I get on the board and I get there and then they're not working with me. Well, you promised this and this, that. Hey, listen, they working against me. I put the suggestion out there. I put the suggestion out there. How about we do this and that? But they don't want that to happen. They want this to happen. And I'm the type of person that works with individuals instead of working against them. Because when you work against them, you get nowhere. But when you work with them, you get further in life.
Right. Yeah. And that could be any board. I don't care what board you're in, under what organization, or, sometimes you get the board to work with you, and then sometimes you get board where you're the only one single vote.
And I
it
see
works
that
way.
now with what was going on with the trustees and mayor
and the same way with the school board, people before you.
Look at who we have now. Look at who we have now. And he does absolutely nothing. He doesn't even come to the board meetings.
Yeah, that's the sad part. He doesn't even show up.
Doesn't even show up. So maybe if you had, and I don't mean to say it this way, but I don't know how to. I have to be blunt. Maybe if you had did things in a proper manner, you would be there instead of him. Maybe you would make a difference because he's not. And you know what? I don't even know why he ran. Why? Go somewhere and sit down like you've been doing. You and your wife.
Well, like Katrina said, it's a learning experience, and who knows, Katrina, how you might change. You say you did it for your son. So who knows how things go down the line once he get into high school. I mean, I don't know. You never know how you
I'm
might
waiting
change.
for that day.
Huh?
I'm waiting for that day.
I don't know if I would be right to say this, but it's not just about you and your family. It's
not.
For the village of University Park.
But you did not hear me say I was doing it for not only my son, but the other kids that was having situations the same with my child, with the bullying, and that goes on in the school every day.
That's gonna happen. That's life.
I understand that's gonna happen, but that's life. But it shouldn't be swept under the table. It affected my son so much he wanted to commit suicide.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I love my children. My boys are my world, and I would do any and everything for them. But for my child not to be able to come talk to me because he was holding it inside and to just wanted to end his life, and I had to put him in a mental institution, that hurted me. Not to have my child here at home with me every day, but I had to drive over an hour to go see my son in a mental institution because of the bullying. I don't want that to happen to any other child in this community. I love children. I love children. May not like mine half the time, but I love children. And if a child needs, whether I have it or not, I'm gonna make sure that child has. You know what I'm saying?
So has the school, do you know if the school district put together, I know they put together some type of policies about bullying. They have done something. Have you looked into what they have done? And is that satisfactory?
Basically, with him, they did this, he had to do a check-in and a check-out.
No, I'm saying with just the policies.
But
from the district.
as far as the policies, they could put them in place, but it still doesn't, they don't enforce it.
Wow.
They don't enforce it.
It's terrible.
They could put it in place, but they don't enforce it.
Right.
And no child, whether it's my child or your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, should go to school and be bullied, and they just brush it under the table, or they just talk to them and not give the bully, the person that's doing the bullying, no consequences.
Right.
What school is this, Katrina? What school are you talking about?
He was at the school district. The school when he came here, he went to Crete Elementary over there in Crete. That's where the bullying started. They even put him getting jumped on social media.
Oh my God. Bless your heart.
They filmed it and put it on social media. I get a call from the school about this video. And then a week or so later, I get a call saying that I need to come up to the school because they holding my child because he admitted that he wanted to commit suicide. He didn't want to be here no more because of the bullying.
Did you contact the community? I mean, this is something that
I went to the superintendent and I did all that stuff. Emailed and I called and everything. But still, when he came back to school from being in a mental institution, they had him to check in with a teacher in the day to, let him know how he was doing and then check out with the teacher at the end of the day. But bullying is still going on. Y'all put in these policies and procedures, but y'all don't enforce it.
Now, this is where the community should get involved. Now, this is a situation with this mother.
You needed us. You needed us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is where we should have come in. I really, because you hear about this.
That happened in
That was
a
couple years ago, right, Katrina?
This was in when we first got here. He was in 5th grade. He was in 5th grade because he went to 5th grade. Then he went 6th, 7th, 8th over here. He was in 5th grade when we moved here. He was in 5th grade.
Well, if anything like that should happen again with your other son, this is when we as a community.
This is the last son. The other sons are grown and on their own. Okay. This is the last one here that I've been,
But if you know any parents that have children and that are being bullied, this is the time that we as a group of ladies and gentlemen should know about this and do think this should not be tolerated. And it's a shame because I understand mental illness and all of that, depression and kids. You should, next time, or if you know anyone, please come to the community and tell us about it. We can do something about it because that's not fair at all.
It's not.
The community should get behind you.
Right. And that's why we had
like I said, I was new and I really didn't know nobody.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've started to, learn. I mean, I knew the patients that I, was seeing that lived in the community, but as far as you strong ladies, I didn't know none of y'all. To, talk to you all and come to you all, to get advice. I didn't know none of you all. And so it's basically, I went to the school district and it's like, they didn't really give me the answers what I was looking for. Even the police department, when they jumped on my son here in our village, and the kids that jumped, they ran from only school that was not involved in that activity was Talala and Monique. Kids from Crete Elementary, Balmoral, Creek, the middle school, and it was a high schooler that was involved in that fight that jumped on my son. What is you, a high school? And then I went to the police and they was like, well, the parents don't want to cooperate.
There should be
evidence of my child being harmed and put on social media, and these parents don't want to cooperate. And sit down and at least talk to me and to, discuss things that happen and find out what a solution to this problem.
I'm just sick of it. That's
The police didn't want to, they didn't feel like they needed to get involved in it. They basically closed it before it was even really open.
You right down the street from one heck of a strong woman, and that's Star Lawson.
I know, Miss Star.
If you let Star Lawson know your problem, then she'll contact us and anybody else, and we're there for you.
I have her number. I just recently got it. We have been in communication. My son actually has helped her, and you know, that's why I said, "Hey neighbor," when she came online. She stayed right down the street.
And that's what the community Zoom is for, is to come on, for any resident to come on if they have issues, concerns about anything. It could be with the school district, with the police department, with the fire department, with your streets, with your home, any tax question, anything, you know, property taxes, all that type of stuff. That's what it is here for, because we're trying to figure out ways to help all the community on whatever issue they have. So you know now, and which is great. But for any other parents that's out there, let them know as well, just to pass that on. Just say, hey, if you hear them saying they complained about something, tell them go on to the Zoom and let the residents know, because we might have some advice on suggestions on what you should do, what you can do, and who to talk to.
Hey, Donna, can you flash that, like that on that flashing board out there in University Park, where you could put questions or some advertise it, where you can come to the Zoom, the community Zoom.
No.
Ain't nobody going through. Let me talk to her 1 minute. Ain't nobody going through Joe Rudez, okay? Can you hear me?
Oh, you have to go through Joe to have that.
Ain't nobody going through Joe Rudez. We're our own people.
Point taken. I wasn't aware.
Okay, so I was thinking, like, you know, not everybody is on Nextdoor. Not everybody, you know, is social media literate.
Right.
I was thinking about maybe like once a quarter we have like a village meeting, you know, with the residents, or at least a representative out of each household. Since we can't use our own golf course, maybe we can do it at Deer Creek. You know,
to do what?
To have like a community, like everybody is not on Zoom. Everybody is not social media literate, or you know, have a meeting with the community to, you know, have them ask questions, update them on what's going on. You know how y'all post the paperwork, or you know, y'all receipts, as y'all call them, on Nextdoor. There's other residents that's not on there, that don't know this, or they don't see it because it's like 50 million posts down at the bottom, and they just see the newer posts, you know, because on Nextdoor you see, not only do you see University Park, but you see the other surrounding suburbs posts and stuff like that. So I was thinking like maybe like once a month or once a quarter, we all get together and discuss, have an open forum and discuss what's going on with the village, you know.
Here's what I feel about what you're saying. You could take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. People that are interested in where they live, you see, because some people don't see nothing wrong. You know, depending on where they moved from, they don't see nothing wrong. But when you need help and you look for people to help, when you want to see your village better, then you'll gravitate to Community Zoom. But to go and try and once a month have meetings and all of that, trying to get people are so apathetic.
But again, you got these residents that's out here in the community that don't know nothing about Nextdoor, or
that's
not.
What they don't want to know. They don't want no information. They don't want to know. They just want to be inside the compounds of their home and feeling safe.
It's not that they don't want to know. It's like they don't know.
Absolutely, yeah,
But-
I agree
but the
with
thing
you,
is-
Katrina.
No, but Nextdoor sends notices to every single household in University Park and every
Yeah.
single household everywhere else, telling
Mhm.
you to download. I agree with you as far as the not being able to handle computers and stuff like that. There's a lot of people who don't know how to do that. But as far as the announcement, it's everywhere throughout the whole United States. Nextdoor, it's an app, just like Facebook. You download it. So
Mhm.
like Miss Millie was saying, you don't want to, because the notice comes to your house
Mhm.
and either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it.
Mhm.
And you either download or you don't download. But I agree with you. Maybe if the pandemic wasn't here and this virus wasn't here, we could have an open meeting once a month or whatever. And then all residents can come together. But right now, people are going to be afraid to do that. So
They don't even come to the regular board meetings like
Right.
Right,
that.
and that's what I was gonna say. Just overall, there's opportunities for them to voice their opinions, send in public comments, come to board meetings. And I don't want it to be, I wouldn't want that the community Zoom is the people that are having quarterly meetings. That is what our village should be doing on a quarterly basis, having a meeting to address the issues that the residents are having. That's
Mhm.
what we should try to focus on, is making sure that the village obliged to them having a quarterly meeting where we can address all these different issues. Because if we could keep doing it on our own, we have the Zoom meeting, which is great, but
It's-
having a quarter meeting, talking to us to actually go to a physical location where a lot of people are just not going to come in the first place because they don't come to the board meetings, like Gina said. We have to push for the village, the mayor, and the board to have a quarterly meeting to talk to the residents about everything that we might have issues on and questions on, and answer our questions. So that's what I would want us to focus on, is to get our board and our mayor and our elected officials to have a meeting. That's
Well,
where
he
we
just
want to give it to.
He
Huh?
put in that newspaper that he was going to have a meeting on February 5th where he was going to introduce all these new things to us, and this was
Right,
going to
but-
be his second
Right, but
town.
we've had those. We've had those forums where it's still, the residents still did not have an opportunity to
Yeah.
talk and have a
Right.
sit-down conversation about what's going on, their issues, answering the questions, showing us financials. None of that has ever happened. It's always just been, let me tell you what all I did.
Right.
Let me introduce you to all my people and stuff like that. So it really has never, I have not seen a sit-down conversation with the residents where we were all talking and addressing issues that we had, where they answered questions that we had questions to. They don't even do that at the board meeting, answer questions. So, you know, that's where I think we should focus on, a quarterly meeting with the village. Not just informational to tell us what all you did.
But he's not gonna let that happen because
I know, but that's what we have to focus on.
he don't want the trustees, the 4 trustees, to be educated or to
Right.
hear the different things from the residents. He wants to continue to have a hold onto those 4 trustees. That continues to give him support in things that he wants to do. So he's not interested in us. He's not interested in us at all. That is just so blatantly obvious.
I agree. But
He
that's not
shows
something.
that, he shows that all the time. He has no interest in the residents of this village.
I agree, but we still have to
So-
try to get that information. We still have to try to push for it to happen through them.
When we get his butt out of there, then maybe things will look a little different.
With whoever, absolutely. We was talking about that even before with the last administration, trying to get the financials and having quarterly reports.
So do y'all have a candidate in mind? Don't even look at me. But do y'all have a candidate
Oh, we're not looking at you.
to
happened to the money with the Metro? Remember that incident where they had to get the keys or something to get the money? Whatever
Ask
happened?
the mayor. Ask the
Yeah, I
mayor.
don't know.
They claimed the board meeting, yes, I think it's yesterday, they claimed that they have collected twice, but they still didn't say who was collecting it and what it
Or
was,
how much?
or how much.
I heard Keely was collecting it.
Oh, was she? Okay.
I don't know if that's the truth or not, but that's
And she takes it right straight to her girl.
But
okay.
I don't know how true it is, but I heard that there's a certain somebody that plan on stepping on Joe's toes and running for mayor.
Who is
Not
that?
me. Not me.
Oh.
He's a trustee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
know that. Yeah, we
know.
know that.
No, which
We
one
do know
are you
that.
talking about?
The one who has been working for our village. And for
Okay,
me.
we know about him.
We do know.
Okay,
We
right.
do know.
Okay. Yeah.
We do know.
So in other words, in the political sense of things, we can't do anything but just allow this board to do whatever he wants to do until he's voted out. In the meantime, we have to take, and they're taking. Something can be done. That is, I don't think we should be held prisoners.
Around the time I was running for school board, I was researching how to get the mayor removed from his position. And I noticed that some of the other towns that's not nearby, their board members went against their mayor and got him removed. So it's like mutiny. But I know that ours is not gonna work like that. It's 2 against 4.
But it did happen. That did happen because that happened under the last mayor, where Rudez had 4 people, for the trustees, and they formed their own committee where they kind of overruled the mayor. So it did happen at the last administration. It could happen again. All they need is 4 votes.
All they need is they needed the other ones to come on the other side of the fence.
Right. They need 4 trustees need to be joined together to basically disregard a lot of his stuff.
Well, isn't there somebody here on this panel that knows some of the trustees or one of the trustees that you can talk to on a one-on-one basis and see how you can persuade them or let them know? I mean, this can't continue. And we just got to think, I don't like saying the word thinking outside the box, but we got to start doing something, because we're going to be like this until the mayor's term is up, and summer is coming and a lot of stuff. I mean,
well, Marianne, they might listen to you. You should call. You should reach out to them.
Oh, I have. Okay, Donna, I know where you go with this. No, I don't talk and I do anything. No.
No, I'm talking about the other ones. I know those 2, but you can call them. I've tried calling. I've left messages. I've sent text messages, and they don't respond to my call.
And me either. That's why I was
Okay.
Somebody had. I've emailed. Only person who responds to me is Brooks. Yeah, he was.
Not all of them. Like Sonia and Brooks, they're fine with responding, but it was the other ones. Like I said, I have sent emails, call, voicemails, all type of stuff, and I'm not getting a response.
Okay.
And Millie had said that once before earlier tonight. You can go to them, but they have to accept it, and if they're not going to accept it, it's a waste of your time.
That's
true. And that's where I seen it.
They see it, they read, everybody, all the board is on Nextdoor. They read the comments, they know what's going on, but whether or not our mayor is guiding them to stick on his side, we've seen it before under Covington. The 4 was formed, and because the mayor is only 1 vote, he needs those people to be on his side.
Right.
So if he can keep them on this side by offering or doing whatever he's doing, they're on his side.
You know, You know,
What
the
happened
Christmas
to
stuff that we buy stuff with, that goes a long way with people that want things to happen their way.
Yes. Yep.
you know what? Whatever happened to we need to do that report card, and we need to do it so that, let's just say the next meeting we do a report card and we highlight Shirley Bolden and we give all the pros and cons and have D. Jones read those things out loud. Maybe it will start making a difference if we all put in comments and each of us tell why we're giving her the grade that we're giving her.
Mhm.
What does she look like?
She's fair skin, where it has glasses. She's short, kind of whitish hair, or blondish hair.
Only trustees that I have ever seen was Theo. What's his name? Tutu.
Mhm.
And I only met Tutu. I only met Tutu is because I donated to the Easter egg hunt. I met Theo because we was all campaigning together. What is her name?
Karen McFadden. Karen Lewis.
I met Karen Lewis. Karen McFadden. I met Karen McFadden when it was election day.
It's Janae McFadden, and it's Karen Lewis.
Okay, I'm sorry. McFadden, I met her at election day, and Karen Lewis, I met her at the Easter egg hunt. She was up
So
there.
you need to get to know your trustees.
That's what I'm about to say. Go on YouTube and pull up one of those village board meetings. So you could actually see, right? So you can actually.
My thing is, if they had like when I first moved here, and it was a couple of events that happened, and what was the first event that I went to? The back to school picnic thing. Yeah, the back to school picnic thing that was over there by the car wash. I met Paula. Then again, they had that little trunk or treat that was at the library that same year. And again, I met Paula. But there was no other trustees out there. When y'all have community events, isn't the trustees supposed to be there?
They should. They should, but no, you don't get all of them, unfortunately.
We just got to brainstorm and come up with some type of way that we can get these Negroes out of position or put so much pressure on them. See, they're worrying.
I wonder what happen if we decide not to pay our property taxes.
Then you're going to lose your house.
You don't want to do that.
No.
I'm just joking. I know I don't want to lose my house.
No, what we have to brainstorm, ladies. We have to brainstorm and think of some kind of a way, because we cannot allow this to continue until the next election. And then when the next election comes, we'll be doing the same thing. So I'm quite sure we could get together. You can come over here, or we can meet someplace and just brainstorm. There has got to be some way that we can get through all of this and start things rolling. There has got to be.
How much money you got to offer? Because that's what they're going to look for, dollar signs.
Marianne.
Mildred Morgan.
There comes a time when you have done everything and you've put things in place. You have to just, as they say in Birmingham, Alabama, you have to be still.
Well, I'm still. I'm still. I'm very still.
You have to be still.
But we still are rehashing everything. Rehashing. That's all I'm saying.
What we ought to be doing is talking about things that we can make a difference in.
And what are those, Mildred? What do you know?
That's what Community Zoom is about. By having Katrina on, we're learning about a nurse that's here in this community, learning about other people, different other guests that we've had. You know, that should be opening up our minds to some things. But what Joe Rudez and those four trustees continue to do. Now, we've already put things in place. And so there's nothing else that we can do to a degree, except keep the exposure open to keep talking about the things that he's doing and anybody else that is doing things that's not helping the village of University Park. We talk about those things, but then let's talk about things that we can try and make a difference in.
And
Uh,
I understand that, Mildred, and I appreciate what you're saying. But let me just say this. You and I and some other ladies, we've been out here, well, I have for over 40 years. And I haven't seen anything that amounts to a hill of beans that has helped our community. And I think I'm more frustrated because I've been out here for so long. And what we were talking about here, we've talked about back then. Now, when I first moved out here, and as well as you, we didn't have to talk about these kind of things because everything was in place. But then it started going down. And since then, it's always the same thing. And I think because as I'm getting older, I want to see something that's going to happen to University Park. I want to move, but when I have people to come out to assess my home, I don't think I'm getting what I think it should. I don't want to Section 8 my home because I can't pick and choose who take my home. So I have to make up in my mind. So all I'm thinking, the only reason I always gravitate to this conversation is because I'm getting up in age and I just wanted to experience some of University Park to be the way it was, if not the exact same thing when I first moved out here. That's why I harbor on this all the time, and that's my main concern because I do not want to move. I don't want to get another house and do all of that, but I don't want to bring people out here because I can't choose Section 8 people. They're chosen by other people. I get an evaluation of my home. Well, I think I should get more than that because I have to move someplace else. So that's why I harp and harp on why can't we get something done.
Marianne, I want to let you lead into, because I know you said you had a Black History story.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, Donna.
Do you want to go into your story?
If you all want to listen.
Go ahead.
You sure? If you don't, I mean, we can do it next time.
No, come on. We're listening.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Marianne Alexander Griffin. I've been out here in University Park, as I just mentioned, 41 some odd years. And what I want to share with you ladies is my journey through the civil rights movement. And although my journey wasn't as spectacular as some people's were, it was enough to make me and my family think that I was somebody special. And so we would begin with my education. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and this is where my journey into civil rights started. It started with my going to a school called DuPont Manuals. It was the school that was integrated because we were very segregated in Louisville. And so the first class that went to DuPont Manual, it was uneventful, everything went well. And then the second class was my class, went in and I stayed for a year and things were nice. It was one of the well-known white high schools and things went well. We had top football players, they were African-American and we were called colored. So we went there. However, while I was at DuPont, I told my grandmother, I said, I would like to go to Central High. I don't want to stay and graduate to DuPont Manual. I would like to go to Central High. And so she did all the stuff I was supposed to do. And I transferred to Central High. And one of the reasons I also wanted to transfer to Central High because it was the only Black school in Louisville. And it was newly built and it was a very lovely, lovely school. And I loved it. I liked being around my people. And then what happened, it was 1959. Well, we had a lot of racial tension in Louisville because we weren't allowed to sit at the Walgreens counters or it was called the Five and Dime and Kresge's. So we couldn't go there and sit. We couldn't go to the other movies. We had two movies in Louisville, and it was called the Lyric and the Grand. And those were the only two theaters that we had to go. So Dr. Martin King came to Louisville and came to Central High because at that time, during the 50s, now Dr. King usually used high school students to march and do all that. So he came to our school and he got a bunch of all the kids from Central High. We would meet after school, go to the church, pray, and do all that, and then we would go and do our marching and do our sit-ins. And that was a really good experience because I got a chance to see evil even in front of me because you did get pushed aside and because I was kind of young then, I mean, it was not funny, but you know, you knew you were doing something that was for the best. And they would spit on you and they would do all of that. But we finally, after all of that, we finally were able to sit in at the counters and go into the grocery stores and we could go to the white movies. Fast forward, we had a young man that went to Central High, and his name was Cassius Clay. And Cassius was always, he was a boxer. We had a TV program that was called Amateur Night with the Boxers, and he was there as a boxer. He became so famous, he went to the Olympics. And of course, he won the gold, what do you call it? The gold medal. And so, of course, we had this huge assembly for him, as well as Wilma Rudolph. And she was the first Black star, we would call colored track star. She came to for the celebration. And then after that, I moved here I'm skipping her, but I moved to Chicago. I came up here and my first job was not my first job, but when we got into integration and stuff, I worked as an Andy Frame usherette. Now, Andy Frame was an organization that they had women and guys, and the girls only worked certain parties and events, and that's how I got. So I got a lot of culture out of working for Andy Frame because we worked at the symphony, we had to work at the uh, opera, and when there were certain parties, they would ask for the Andy Frame usherettes. However, uh, Mr. Johnson, he would have his ebony fashion shows, and he made sure that there were African American girls represented. Prior to that, I also worked at the because I haven't done anything as far as my first job is concerned that you all will be interested in. But this was my little journey into making a little history for me or for my family, whatever. So I worked at the Democratic Convention when Mayor Daley was the mayor, and we had the troops out there, the police. And the only reason I remember that so well because it was so terrible until they escorted us to our cars. Um, and and then as I got older, I went into the airlines and I was one of the first, not the first, but one of the few, we were called stewardesses then. And there was just so many of us, it was so rare until those who did fly, the Blacks and all that, they got to know practically all of us because there were so few and far in between. So I was one in that group. As far as and being that a stewardess, there was this one plane, it was like it was called a 737 airplane, and it required only 3 stewardesses. And so we had a way where we could buddy bid. And so there was 3 of us and we buddy bid, 3 Black girls. And we decided to buddy bid so we could fly together the whole month. In that entrance, this goes to show you how people just hate to see us doing well or whatever. They wrote us up and said that we were in the not in the cockpit, but in the galley, dancing, smoking, and all of that, which we weren't. But it got back to American Airlines, and then our supervisors came, and they told us we couldn't buddy bid anymore because I think what happened is the white people didn't like to get on a plane that when they first got on, welcome aboard, and then they go down on the other out, welcome aboard, and there was all three of us. So that was kind of interesting. And then I'll just finish up. There's a lot, but I'm going to finish up at this little point. When I worked in the Merchandise Mart, the Kennedys owned that Merchandise Mart. And during the time I got just to see the Kennedys because they were, that office was ours. And they would come in and say hello. But however, what really got me was when Diana Ross came into the mart, and she had with her designer, and she was going to buy furniture. And she had on this white mink coat. And so she came into the office and we hung her coat up, and then she left. And she's tiny and I was tiny. And so I tried the coat on. It was a beautiful white mink. And we just, only for like 10 seconds. And and of course we put it back and nothing was said about it. But the last thing I want to say is this, because I have more, but I'm not going to get into it. But when you working when I was working in certain fields, people get so comfortable with you as an individual until they forget it. And so there would be times when I would be walking and one of the girls would come out of the showroom and she would say, Marianne, it's just horrible. They're just treating me so bad. They're treating me like a nigger. And she didn't know what to say and I didn't either because I was so stunned, but I would get that a lot because they felt so comfortable with me till they would really show their true colors. And I left the mart because I spent 80% of my life in the Merchandise Mart, which is a fabulous place to work. I got exposed and I saw everything. But the one thing I can say after that, I left after spending 80% of my life working in that mart. It was on a sad note because, and I'm just going to say, white people, they can do you wrong. And I had to leave. I took an early retirement because what was going on was going to cause me to have a nervous breakdown. And what has happened with all this stuff that has gone on with the killing of our black boys right in our own eyesight, I think there's one thing that I've left with those people in the Merchandise Mart that knows me. They can understand what I was saying because they thought I was the militant one. I would just call a spade a spade. They know now that what I was trying to teach them about racial things was true. And to this day, it's a shame that I had to leave a place where I had so much fun and exposure and meeting all types of people, even at the Democratic Convention, the 68th Democratic Convention, with all the riots. And I met interesting people. And it just left a better feel because I had to curtail my livelihood because of some white people. And this was my whole life. And that's where I am. There was more, but that's it.
Oh, that was interesting. Thank you. That was a lot of interesting merchandise mart. I think my grandmother used to work somewhere down there as well. But you was kind of like that first job you had as an usherette. That sounded like what them Playboy girls are.
Oh. No.
You know how I'm just saying, I was listening to the Playboy girls and how they bring all the certain ones, gotta have a black.
Let me share this with you. I did dance at the Playboy because in my life, I went to college, but college was not for me. So I did not complete college because I was going to be the ballerina. I was going to be that ballerina. And my grandmother wanted me to play the piano, but she would say, Cookie, she said, you're not going to make any money on your toes, And so I just went to school, to college, because Mama wanted me to go to college. But coming to the mart was just amazing. And let me just brag on myself for a minute, because I almost felt like a celebrity because there was only one or two of us. And so when they would see me come in, like, hi, Marianne, hey, Marianne. And that's how I became a stewardess. That's how I got all my jobs. But this was going back in the 50s and the 60s and stuff. And we were still called colored, And then I had to end on a note where they almost broke me down. Yeah.
They can do that. Just even like when you were saying with they didn't want all three of you all on the plane together as stewardess. That's when I was at work, whenever we go to lunch, we knew, not to sit, a lot of them, they wouldn't sit with, all blacks wouldn't sit together.
Yeah,
Because when the whites came into the cafeteria and they seen that it was some type of way, they was threatened by it. You could tell just
yes,
by their face. And then people were like, and then other blacks would come in and that would be new. They would not sit at our table because I didn't care. I'm gonna
yes.
sit with my people because I that's who I relate better with, and those are my friends.
Well,
And
the thing
but
that
they would not like that. They did not
That's
like
right.
us sitting, and then the blacks would come in. They would not sit at our table because they say they don't want their co-workers to be threatened by them.
Right. And the white girls could buddy bid. They were able to buddy bid.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, they was able to do it. They all of them sat at the table together. They always sat at the table, but whenever it's a table full of blacks, they be like, "Oh no!" This was even back in college. Same situation. It's like something's up. These are the militant people. If you're
right,
sitting
right.
together, you have to be considered militant or power to the people.
I was just upset that I had to leave because 80% of my livelihood was in the march.
Mm.
And the way I literally had to leave. They were killing me. They were doing all kinds of things. They were playing mind games with me.
Yeah.
And I had to
Can I
get
ask a question? With you being so high complected now, and I'm sure back then in the 40s and 50s, you were even lighter. Did you ever feel like they played favoritism with you?
at work or just people in general?
People in general.
Your skin color.
I've never dealt on skin color as far as I was concerned. I never had any problems, but my grandmother taught us, we just didn't deal on color of skins. It seems like it's more now than, I never thought about it.
I was born in 54, and I remember specifically, and I was partially raised in Birmingham, Alabama, and I remember specifically that children that were dark complected were treated real bad. They were called, they would say, come here with your black self. This is a mother talking to her child, and they would say things like that. And it seemed to have been acceptable, when they would make statements like that. And I would just look, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing, that a mother said that to her child. And even when growing up in school, first grade, kindergarten, second grade in Birmingham, Alabama, the skin complexion it did make a difference.
And it still does.
If you were dark skinned, you was frowned upon. If you were light, then everything was okay. So, and I'm looking at your complexion now, and I know that even back when you were a child, first, second, third grade, you had to have been even lighter. And so I just wonder, have you ever experienced special treatment?
Let me just share this with you, Mel. That's a very good question. And perhaps I have, but I wasn't made aware of it. I wasn't aware because my grandmother, I played with all kind of colors. That was never a color thing. I just never thought about light skin. It could have been because, but it also had its hinges because, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. But I hope that I made it on my own merit, Mm-hmm. But the color could have been something. I don't know. It was kind of bad because when you're sitting in a position and people are calling, one girl, we was at the airline school. We had to go to a school to become a stewardess. And then after the classes, we would all sit around and there was maybe 2 or 3 black. There was always 2 or 3 of 1,000. And she was talking about her sister. And she said, girls, my sister boyfriend is just horrible looking. You know, he has a nose like a nigger. I mean, nigger was just thrown around so much. But white people forget when they're around blacks and they feel so comfortable until they just say anything and then they want to apologize. And what happens is it puts me in a situation because with the girl who said they were treating her like a nigger, she was not a friend, but she was an associate of mine. And I thought we were going to have lunch that day. Well, how can I go to lunch with the person who just told me that somebody was treating her like a nigger? You know, and all she could do was say, oh, Marianne. But what do you do? What do you do? I was put in those situations. And then for me to be called a militant and I had to leave my jobs because I would speak up and I would say, oh no, that didn't happen because she was black or that didn't happen. Marianne, you got to stop saying that. I said, I'm calling a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. And then they all turned against me. And the only reason I was left because I had to go to my therapist and say, they are about to drive me crazy. He said, Marianne, I want you to get yourself, go to your job, pack your things and leave. And that's how I left the beautiful, wonderful world of the merchandise mart after half of my life there.
Did you ever think about running for office? Like you said, you worked for the Democratic conventions, went to a lot of them. Have you ever thought about running back then?
Oh, no. No, I just like those jobs because what those jobs did for me was to help me. People would see me and say, would you like to work here and stuff like that. So, I just wanted to dance. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to be that guy. And I wasn't. So I worked in the interior design field, okay. With decorators. And so all the Marshall Fields, the Goldblatts, I don't know if you guys would know these people. This is back.
Right.
They would come into the mart, all the politicians. Yeah, I really got a lot of exposure. And what I also got was when you're in the mart and people come in and they say, hi, Marianne, hi, Mary. And then when me and my husband would go out for dinner in the theater, and if you would see, nobody wanted to speak. They didn't know you then. Mm-hmm. But when I would get back to work the next day, and if they came into my office, and they would be all friendly. I said, oh no, you didn't know me last night. You don't know me today. And I was upfront about my politics. And I just got on too many people's nerves.
Is this on your landline? Well, that was good.
No, darling.
Yeah. So that's my little story.
Well, that was good.
Very good.
Beautiful story.
Yes, it was. You was what's that one, doing the sit-ins at the Walmart? Five and Dash, that's what it was, them sit-ins, and you was there when it made a difference.
I did, and you know what, it's true. They would come and just move out of the way, spit on you. But my grandmother was very worried, so I could never, some of them got thrown in jail, but I was never going to get in jail because she says, Cookie, I want you home before all of that happens, because because I wanted to go to Central, I had to take a bus. So I was on the bus to go home and she wanted me home at a certain time. But it was nice. It was wonderful being around Dr. King and how he prayed and how we had to sing and how we had and to see Cassius Clay going up and down, shadow boxing. That was interesting.
And down in the Ross.
That was something. I shot on that white mink coat. Only for 10 seconds.
We had those cell phones back then to take that quick picture.
I mean, I was impressed. Only for 10 seconds. I didn't because she was extremely thin and I was thin, and it fit me perfectly, you ladies.
I would have had to buy it.
And I stood around for 10 seconds. Nobody knew when Diana Ross came back in, like it was there waiting for her. Yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah, that is.
And the Kennedys, Tish Baldridge, the former press secretary to Jacqueline, Barbara Scott, the first Olympic ice skater that was married to, and not that we were friends, that didn't happen, but they acknowledged me, they knew my name.
Okay.
And I didn't hang around in that circle, but they knew my name and I was exposed to a lot of things. And this is the last thing. It was a Jewish white lady that got me started to be the first this, the first that, and the first that in the merchandise mart.
That's good.
Yes, and she, because people are mean and rough, and yeah, but she was started. I started off wonderful and then ended up very sad.
Hmm.
Well, you get a lot of memories and good memories of it. So that's
Yeah.
good. Yep. Beautiful
Thank
story.
you, ladies, for listening to me.
Thank you.
Beautiful story.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Yes, thank you.
Great history.
Cookie,
Huh?
Cookie,
Yes.
could you share with us how you met your husband, Jim?
That's another story, Gina.
Oh, okay. uh,
Sure, next time. But I
oh,
have some beautiful stories, and the reason I'm not elaborating on the civil rights movement is because there are a lot of us out there that did that what I did. They did the march and set up the counters. So it wasn't like I was the first of all that, but I was in the midst of it all. Uh,
oh,
You were
so
one of the change makers. You was one of the ones that helped make the changes where we could have a lot of the freedoms that we have right now. So
thank you for saying that.
everybody is important. So even though you're saying you just one of the rest of the group, no, you made that choice to be a part of it because not everybody made that choice to do that. So
Well, aren't you special? Thank you for sharing that.
you're welcome.
Now I understand what I was doing. But I'm glad you enjoyed my little story. I
Yes,
have more, and maybe we'll do this sometimes. We all could do this because, as you can see, I love to talk, and if I know what I'm talking about, so we should do this more.
yes, that was
Mhm.
good. All right, ladies, anybody else have any questions or want to say anything or bring something up? If
I don't
not,
know. Did anybody watch yesterday's board meeting?
I did watch it.
Yes.
Well, it was kind of intense, and I felt very, very bad for Sonia. And is there anything we can do to help her? Because for some reason, I feel it's kind of a setup with
Yeah.
what's going on. And I didn't like the fact that D. Jones said she was going to make those papers available for the public. How do you share someone's personal information like that and, let us know we can come up there and obtain copies of pictures and private things that was sent to her from a relative that's disgruntled? I just, I think that, again, you need to call people out. We need to call D out on that. And for the rest of them sitting there not saying anything or coming to her defense, I just thought it was really terrible. And my heart went out to her yesterday with that whole situation, because this isn't the first time it's happened, but this time it was really more intense.
I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to watch the board meeting, but could you elaborate what happened so I can at least?
Can I make this statement, Gene, before I forget it?
Sure.
The one thing that is important, and I find that it works really, really well, when you have stuff like that, you have to ignore it. You have to just ignore it. Because the more you talk about it, you see, that's what the culprit wants. They want it to get spread it all around. And so what does she have? They talked about Jesus Christ.
They did, yes.
They mistreated him, put him up there with the thieves and everything, nailed him on the cross, and he's the Son of God. So who are we that we're not going to go through things here on this earth? When you become a politician, there's things that people are going to dig up and they're going to throw it out there because why? They want to harm you. So here's what you do. You grow a deaf ear and keep on going. You persevere. You hold your head up high and keep on going. You don't allow that to even bother you. And that's what I told Trustee Sonia last night. You don't allow that to bother you. And when Miss Millie, that's talking about my husband. Is it the truth? It's not the truth. So what you arguing about? What you fussing about? People are going to say things. When Tutu said I was an embarrassment, that was a compliment compared to some of the things I've been called. So you have to ignore. You have to persevere. You have to keep on going. Because see, that's what they want. They wanted to disturb you. They wanted to disturb you. Don't allow it to happen. Okay, go ahead.
Well,
So
I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I thought it had to do with her, with perhaps the mother of one of her grandchildren. It seemed like it might have been her son's girlfriend, and she had written a letter in which Dee read part of the letter, and I guess she may have sent him pictures or other things. Somebody, during the course of the meeting, you can type in during the live chat, and somebody had put something in writing on there. I didn't even read it, but I know it was regarding Sonia. So she was being personally attacked and her business put out for all to hear. And Dee Jones said it's about 4 or 5 pages. So whoever this girlfriend or person is sent in pictures and said a lot of derogatory stuff. And she said she wasn't going to read it, the rest of it, but it would be available for residents if they wanted to obtain a copy. And I just thought that, the mayor or somebody or the village manager could have intervened, even the trustee, and said, well, wait a minute, that's not for public record. We're not getting ready to display that and have it available for anybody that wants to get copies of this girl's personal business.
Well,
I just thought it was not handled good.
If I'm not mistaken, something similar happened like that last year where the person posted on Nextdoor about a situation that happened at Trustee Sonia's house, where the police had came and she posted the pictures and she stated about something. But my thing is, if you have an issue that's going on within your household, that's not for the village to know.
It's not for politics. It shouldn't be mixed.
I mean, everybody is not perfect and everybody has their ups and downs in their household, but it's not for us to know about it and you trying to because actually she can actually get the police involved.
Exactly.
But they already.
I would sue Dee Jones or anyone, who was in agreement with putting this out there like that.
First of all, the problem is that I feel is that someone gave her a picture of it off of Facebook. So somebody printed something off of Facebook and gave it to her. This was not a public comment that was sent in. This was a writing off of Facebook. And
they gave it? Oh.
Yeah. So that's
they
what
walked it up there.
Say it again.
Right. Yeah, they walked it up there and gave it to the village. And I guess Keely is the one that went and turned it in to Dee. So the fact that it was something put together and it wasn't a public comment was part of the issue.
Should have never been brought up.
That's even worse.
It should have never been brought up. Right.
Not only that.
Oh, okay. So now I'm gonna rip her from the floor up because I didn't know that. I
It
thought
should have
this was
never been
someone
brought up at all. It should not been, it was not a public comment. Just because somebody give you something
A
off of
foul.
Facebook that
That's messy.
someone else wrote,
That's messy.
that is not something that should be read into the board.
Yeah,
It
that
should not have been.
But
that's an attack. Someone that's an
Absolutely.
attack on her character.
Right. That's what they're trying
What
to
they're
do.
doing, disparaging her in
Right.
such a way when it has nothing at all to do with the village.
No.
Nothing.
It has nothing to do with anybody else's household.
No.
This is just evilness.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
that was why I think that the board all agreed. Well, what I saw was the board agreed that it
Not
shouldn't be
to,
read and all of that. I thought they all said it wasn't important and it wasn't village business and continue on.
right.
It should have
Um,
never been brought up at all.
It shouldn't have
Right.
been brought up at all.
So D didn't get reprimanded for bringing personal business that didn't have anything to do with the village, because
She
that
should be.
is
Be-
The one thing that disturbs me is D. Jones said,
Go ahead. Well, hold on. Go ahead, Katrina. Finish what you were saying.
what I was saying is, so D Jones didn't get reprimanded for bringing something that had nothing to do with the village,
No.
because that's personal.
But
Yeah.
I believe that somebody requested that it be read into the
Oh, sure. Yes, that's right.
And if I
She's the master clerk.
That's Sloppy Joe that wanted that read because he wants to silence Sonia.
Right.
And he-
I
Political
feel like-
sabotage.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
sabotage
believe that,
because
Donna.
she's working against him for us.
Exactly.
She's working against him for us. So he wants to show the village that she's not all what she cracked up to be. Again, that's her personal business. If it does not have nothing to do with the village, then the village don't need to know what goes on in her household.
But the thing about it is, it was with and that's what I was trying to explain to Sonya, kind of what Miss Millie had told her. I told her pretty much the same thing, because you could see and know when you hear that that's not the truth. Girl, it's not nowhere near nothing that anybody would believe. So it doesn't matter what they said, because
allow that to bother you.
Because it's not anything like near the truth. It was it's the baby mom basically to her son. And she's got a mental she's got mental illness going on anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so what it did start as a family incident but she's been threatening Sonya and the son for the past year. So they've already got restraining orders on her. The recent incident is the girl, the son finally called the police on the girl and he took her to court. So this is what this is about. She knows that Sonya is an elected official, so she figured she could hurt the son by making up something on the mom, and putting it out there.
Right, I get it.
So that's what that's about. It has nothing to do with
Now, what D should be reprimanded on, because I heard D say that the reason why she was reading it was because it was a part of public comment.
It was.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's what she said.
Right.
That's what he
I
said.
think
That's
it's
what
a
she
public
said.
comment. Like that's what
Now,
I
what
thought.
we
It was.
need to
And
do
he
is
also
get
said,
find out, was it sent through you to
The
you
email.
or given to you? How was it given to you?
she stated that. She
Someone
stated
just
that.
said Keely gave
I
it
know,
to her.
she stated that at the meeting that someone gave her this off of from Facebook. She did not say this was something that was submitted to her as a public comment.
Yes, she did.
So why would
I didn't
She
hear
did
that.
say comment. She
She
did.
said-
That's why I'm
she said the
confused
reason
about.
why I'm bringing this up is because
It was.
they
Someone wanted her to add it as a public comment, but she said she received it from somebody printed out off of Facebook and gave her that information, and then someone requested for it to be on.
and she said that she had to put it in the records.
Right, and it was wasn't that the last public comment of the night
Right.
after she
Mhm.
read all the others?
Yeah.
So he needs to be scrutinized. He
Yes,
needs to be
she does.
scrutinized.
Well, that's slanderous, isn't it? That's what you call
It is.
slander.
It is.
First of all,
It is.
isn't the comments supposed to be approved by the board before it's been read off until
No, they
at
don't.
these
They don't
meetings?
have to approve the comments.
No, they don't have to prove it.
And that's
No, they
what
don't
I
have
was
to
saying.
approve them.
That
No.
was my question, because we write in all types of stuff about the mayor and them, and they have to read it, I thought. So I
So
don't,
they
I
do.
didn't
They read
think
the
that the
word for
board could
word.
pick and choose. So that's what I was trying to tell Sonia. I didn't get it all negative like that. I felt that they agreed that it shouldn't,
Even the lawyer
Right.
said no,
Right.
not be
Well,
read.
she said that she asked when she got the information, she sent the thing out to all the trustees. Only 2 responded. She asked them, should it be read? Only 2 responded, and they said no. So that was the
Right.
consensus. So it should have even
And
never
which
been
two
brought
was
up.
that?
If they said no, it should have never been even brought up, especially since it had nothing to do with the village and it was more of a personal attack.
That's
Yeah.
her being messy
here's-
and Joe being sloppy.
So
That's
here's what I think. I think that we should write D.
Get on
Yes.
deep.
And,
Yes, that's
and
what
we
I'm
we
saying,
should
Star.
write D and let that go into the
Public
make
comment.
sure it goes into the public comments.
Mhm.
We
Yes.
should write D and let her
Yes.
know how disappointed we are in
Mhm.
you, Master Clerk,
Master.
for allowing something like this to go forth when it's not even a public comment.
Right.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think we all should send D a letter
That's right.
ourselves
That's right.
so that
That's
it is
right.
read
We
into
need
the
to
next
tear into
public
her
comment.
butt.
The next
We need
minute.
to
That's
tear
what
into
I'm
her butt.
saying.
Because
Star.
she even said it was not village business.
Right.
See that y'all?
Right.
See that's
But
that's
that- but
why
that was
I
her
love
being
you,
messy.
ladies. There y'all go, bringing out y'all pitchforks and y'all hanging
Well,
leaves.
and we got to do what we got to do because
Yeah.
You understand what we're doing, Katrina? What we're doing is we're not allowing no garbage to go on in this village.
Exactly.
And I kudos to you all. I'm standing
Because-
right behind y'all.
Right, because if they allow that to happen with her, that's the start. Once you
Yeah.
allow
That's the
that to
start of
happen, it's
somebody
like a
else.
catalyst because
That's
next thing you
right.
know, somebody else gonna send this information. They're gonna
Yeah.
be looking up
Right.
police records
Right.
and different things like that. That's
You're
not how
right,
we want to
Donna.
continue on.
Look,
So make
we
sure
all-
we all get our letters together
Yes,
And-
that's what I'm
and-
saying, Star.
and write
That's
those
what I
to
said.
D.
We got to keep
Hey,
them on blast.
you've got to really let D know that as a master clerk, because that's what she's always bragging about.
Bragging
that
about.
She's a master clerk.
She's
A
tacky.
master clerk would have a level of professionalism where they would not even allow that.
Right.
Yes,
And we got to let her know we're disappointed
yes,
with
She's tacky.
your
Yeah.
actions as a master
That's
clerk.
messy.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
That's
I'm
messy.
Yeah. Well, I'm a send. I can commit to sending a letter.
I'm gonna submit a letter too. We all need to submit one.
I would
would
So
send
that
And
at
what
the
as
next
about-
board meeting.
I'm
And
gonna tell
let's
you
talk
her
about
butt
the-
on white on rice.
Let's talk about the appointments, and what, Theo getting taken up off that war, off of Aqua, and, what Sonia said, are you gonna take me off of Regal Farm? He didn't answer that part. I don't
he
believe.
wouldn't answer.
But-
he just,
but she-
he said,
but she's
we're
not-
gonna be.
That's what I
lobbying.
want to know right now. What is
Right.
he going to do with that Regal Farm? Now he got this money.
Right.
So that's what I was
So
listening for.
The ones that were still on the do not consume list, have y'all started receiving bills?
Yeah, you started
Yeah.
receiving bills in January.
They're supposed to continue until next Monday to let us know what their final decision is.
Right.
I'm not looking for no
I
bill.
think we got a bill already.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Pertaining to Theo, let's not let the mayor forget. You gave the keys to someone that was not employed,
Amen.
and he also
Chief
has a
Bradley.
suit in, and that's
He-
Chief.
you know what, Mildred? We on the same page because last night when he did that and was talking about you sued the village and that's a conflict of interest, and I'm thinking, okay, you were getting ready to put the former chief of police over us who has a suit in against this village now. You gave him keys to everything. You let him drive cars and have access to private information, and he had not even been sworn in. But yet now you want to hurry up and take somebody off the Aqua thing and give it to your girl Karen to make her look good since she running as state rep. We trying to put something on your resume because you don't have anything on there.
She running for what?
She running for state rep.
I heard she's running for state rep for District 79, our district.
They ain't running for nothing. They wasn't even at the meeting.
They weren't even there.
They wasn't even there.
Well,
for people that was there, and they said.
So do we, as the residents of University Park, can vote for her? I mean, will she be on a ballot when it's time for us to vote to decide whether she be a state rep or not? If she can't represent our village, what makes you think she can represent us as
on the state level?
As a state?
You can forget about it, okay?
Right.
Right. So this is for all Will County. This is not just UP.
Wait a minute. Like the Italian state.
Well, just in case she can run for state rep, I can have one of my dogs run for state rep then, because she ain't did nothing for us.
Nothing. We didn't even know who she was until when she ran for this trustee position.
I know she was maybe going through the village with her little boat or whatever she was.
On top of that truck,
she made, she didn't do nothing. Nothing.
Yes, she did. She did a lot. She went over there to the senior building and gave them $10 each. Now y'all don't take nothing away from her.
Yes,
Stop it, Robert.
She gave them $10 each to vote for her.
Yeah,
right.
So don't take that from her. No. Y'all better give her that.
You brought votes. You brought votes.
You brought votes.
Which is
that was my comment earlier. Money makes things happen.
Exactly.
You all saying, what can we do to talk to these trustees? We gotta
get some money.
Raise dollar signs
We gotta
in front
raise
of
some
them
money.
to get them to sway their decision.
We gotta get thousands of dollars to compete with the mayor now. Don't forget he working with hundreds of thousands.
Yes, he is.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not breaking my retirement fund because I want to retire.
I know. Right.
You see the flyer, the campaign flyer he got out just this past weekend.
I don't know. I tell my son gets the mail. I tell him all junk mail goes straight to the garbage.
I can't hear. Wait, hold on. What? Who has campaign?
Who?
You put that fly out there.
I heard. I ain't seen the chat.
Oh yeah,
he already putting the stuff out this soon.
Right.
You ought to read him. It's all about him.
Okay,
Mildred, is about him.
Take a picture? Can you take a picture and send it to me?
I sure can.
Please do.
Mine probably in the recycle bin because I told my son all junk mail go straight to the garbage. Don't bring me nothing that
I need that to go. I need that to go up on next door, please. May I have that, please? Thank you.
Yeah,
it's all about him. It ain't got no trustees in it. It ain't even got Miss E in it. It's all about him.
Where's campaign letters? Just from his quote unquote from Friends of
Oh,
Dope.
does he have that old picture of him in the army suit, the ROTC uniform?
Yeah, I think he do. I think he got something like that.
Oh my God!
Y'all ladies are.
No, he keep on bothering Mr. Scarborough.
I know, and I said, did he even check with Norma? Because from my last understanding, Norma was not happy with that situation, and he's gonna use the picture. Norma Scarberry, her husband. Yeah,
I know him. The oldest man in the village when he passed away.
Right. He put that same picture in his flyers. He's still using that picture.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible. And you don't do that. He didn't even did he even do a resolution for this man?
I think he did. No, I think he did. I think he
Well,
did. But she was not, well, from my
We
understanding,
know a lot of people he didn't.
right, but he did do it for him. I remember that, but she was not happy with that whole situation. So I'm like, I know he didn't check with her to ask if she was okay with him using that picture anymore. And then he got the picture of Carvana, like the tower there, and he know doggone well the tower is not coming to University Park.
It's not no tower. That's why I put in my letter, and you gave us a Carvana junkyard on our front line. There's gonna be a junkyard.
But whoever
could have been a grocery store right there.
Mm-hmm.
Or a strip mall or something.
It could have been a whole lot, just not that.
That would have made sense, but he didn't decide to do that. I'm proud. I'm proud about Amazon out here. And then we got 600 jobs, and we got this.
Jimmy sounds just like him. That old jive turkey.
Oh, wait.
I mean, it's like things that we can that could benefit our village and bring in revenue. Nobody's buying cars. Since this pandemic happened, nobody's have y'all been past or been by or been up to Matsunato Mall? They're struggling.
Yeah.
Over there in Calumet City, where all them car lots and stuff at, they all struggling. Nobody's buying cars because what? Nobody's really working.
And they don't skyrocketed on all the prices.
Well,
they don't skyrocketed on everything.
He is doing he's doing a lot of campaigning early, just to put it out there.
Okay.
He's getting pictures. So with this Carvana, then they got some economic incentive agreement that he signed with Carvana, which I definitely want to see what that contract consists of. They didn't say exactly what it was for, but they got a picture on the village website of him signing the paper.
So, I mean, what is Carvana supposed to contribute to our village?
Jobs. Right. He said jobs. This is going to bring 300 jobs. 300 jobs is what he said. He's going to bring jobs. Economic development.
That's why I say he got this economic incentive agreement. So I want to see what this economic incentive agreement is all about.
And some kind of tax something that he keep claiming about all these companies. I don't know. I'm just tired of his mouth. Everything that come out of his mouth, I'm tired of it.
Because soon as he took into office, my taxes went up $1,500.
Yours too, mine too. That's what I'm saying.
I was thinking I had to go
for the village, and
make sure I paid my mortgage.
That's why I
say for the village and 2,000 for the school district, and I ain't seen nothing from neither one of them.
And just wait, and if they want to get a park district, guess how much that park district is going to need? They're going to need funding of about $500,000 or so per year.
I had to literally threaten to sue to get them to come out here and move that doggone tree that fell in my doggone driveway when they had that storm in August. What was it? The year before last? Or last year, something like that?
Oh, a tree
that was 2020.
I had to reach out to, because I called the police to have them to help me come move this tree out of my driveway so I can put my vehicle in my driveway, since I couldn't open up my garage because the power was out. Because I'm not parking it on the street, and if a gust of wind hit and it hit a tree again and it's gonna hit my vehicle, I literally had to say, are y'all gonna pay for the damages that happens to my vehicle? I shouldn't have to do that. And I see y'all complaining about the trees. I didn't complain about the tree. I didn't complain about the down wires that's by my house. You gotta call these people. These people say, no, you gotta call the village. No, these people, you gotta call them.
That's they're gonna blame it on everybody else.
Right. Somebody come get it out of my yard. I'm not
That's
gonna
why we gotta
go and electrocute myself.
Right. That American Rescue Plan Fund that he received all that money, where is that money going to?
Well, that's what we're saying, that well, they received several. That was just the one that you posted. That was the second, but they received additional funding before that.
Didn't they get over 11 million the first time?
No, they did not get 11 million.
Well, because it showed that on that chart.
On that chart, that 11 million that's their budget. That's what the villages, that's what they budgeted. So it shows what they received, which I was putting out there. They received that 468,000, and then they're gonna
487, yeah.
and then they're gonna receive another one, in about September or October this year. But they have to present a report stating what they used that money for before April 30th to the treasury.
Well, I'd like to have a copy of that so I can see what lie they put down.
And that's what I want to see. What did they say that they used it for? Because
so we can verify whether they did it or not.
Yeah, the grant is specific on what the reasons what to use it for.
Right, it does. Did
anybody use that program when they got their sidewalk repaired?
The 50-50? No.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No.
Well, before that, Mayor Covington, when she did the sidewalks, she just went around and picked certain neighborhoods that had needs for sidewalks to be repaired. Right. Then when she was no longer in office, then it's back to the 50-50. So before then, some of the neighborhoods, some of the sidewalks was taken care of. I know in front of my house, the sidewalk was taken care of. But now even I told Mrs. E, now you want us to do 50-50? What happened back with Mayor Covington when she went around to the neighborhoods and selected sidewalks to be repaired? That should be the village, not for us to be doing 50-50.
Right. So, I've always known it to be the village responsibility or the city's responsibility for the sidewalks past your yard.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They had a 50-50 before, but Mayor Covington, she didn't do the 50-50.
That's something that Chicago was doing with their residents, right?
What, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know that different communities do differently. I know when I used to live in Harvey with my family, they paid for our sidewalks to be done. It was not
that's village property.
Right. It was not the homeowner's responsibility. They had to fix them.
Now, your walkway that leads to your property, that's yours. But going east to west, north to south, however your house is facing, that's the village.
Right.
Once you pass that little crack in the ground, that's village property. Anything past that crack onto the curb, that's village property.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get it?
Yeah, what? Oh, the picture. Oh, let me check my other phone. Hold on.
Scratch my back, darling.
Oh, ain't that so sweet?
What did you do yesterday? This is a whole new different day. Oh, amazing. Oh.
Mildred, are you sending it to the cell phone or you may have sent it to the landline? I ain't gonna see it.
Okay, darling.
You gotta do the 630 number.
Well, we just got to stay on there. I know these are some of these same concerns that we have every year about the trees, the sidewalks, the streets, all type of stuff, the parks. And they're putting all this information out there about how much they're taking care of everything here in the University Park. So we're going to have to hold them accountable to this information that they are posting and putting in all their literature.
Right.
Also,
and as it comes out, we need to
over there by the school, the middle school, what is it, Olmsted? That street is raggedy. That needs to be repaired soon.
It does.
We know Abbott and Elmhurst.
It needs to be striped. It don't have no lines.
Nope.
Because and then when it snows and stuff like that, that street should be clear. Because the buses got to come through there, parents got to come through there, and the kids walk through there. It'd be like the regular neighborhood. It just be all jacked up. with all that snow and ice everywhere. The schools, the library, all that stuff should be cleared in front of them because those are the places that the children go to and they walk, and it's a safety issue.
It is.
And I feel like a roller coaster. I'm on a roller coaster when I take my son to school in the morning. Like, whoa, hold on. Get not morning sickness, motion sickness going down that street. I don't go through the neighborhoods, but I go straight down Olmsted from Western since I'm off of Western. And it's like you on a roller coaster. You driving through Chicago right there. And you can't like go around to like miss a pothole because you got a car coming towards you, so you can't swerve, so you gotta ride over it. I wonder if I should submit a bill for my suspension system, would they fix it?
No. But they supposed to pay for tires. Well, I don't know. That's other community.
I'm talking about not my vehicle. I'm talking about if I submit a bill, that'll make them go and fix that street so nobody else can submit a bill saying that this road done messed up their suspension system. Nothing wrong with my suspension system. That's like they be fabricating stuff. I can fabricate a bill. Not saying that I do it on a regular basis, but put some fire under their feet somehow.
You have to literally put the fire under there for them to move.
Well, y'all got the torches and stuff. Let me use one.
All you can do is put the information out there. Hopefully they get burnt by it. That's all. Hopefully they get
so
burnt.
when we gonna write these letters in regards to Miss D being messy, where do we drop them off at?
They gotta be in by the last. What's the board meeting for the last Tuesday of this month?
She said, where do you send it to, Gina? You got to email it.
Send it to her email.
You got it right.
You look on the village website and look for Dorothy Jones. It's gonna give her village website. It's gonna give her email on the website.
Start receiving those right now.
Right, and you have to have it in the Monday by 5 o'clock, the Monday before the meeting, or whatever day before the meeting, 5 o'clock.
So I think so. Next week is the last week of the month.
Is it?
We only got 28 days in this month, and
Right.
Monday is the 21st.
Because this week they made it a special meeting, so it should be next week.
Oh, okay.
What meeting is? Isn't there a meeting tomorrow?
That is not the soap you wash your hands with.
Oh, I don't know.
The last Monday, the last Tuesday is the 22nd then.
Right.
So we want to get it in that Monday, the 21st by 5 p.m. Like Donna said, we can start sending it in now.
Yeah.
And let's all send in one to address D. Jones.
Right.
But this is getting crazy. See, this is how you put a stop to foolishness.
What about the meeting that was canceled? Was it rescheduled and was it rescheduled?
It came on last night, Cookie.
Oh,
Yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see. I can rerun it.
For now on, you know what? I'm gonna send you a reminder, Cookie, and Mildred, please resend it because I don't have it.
I'm trying to. You know what? I don't know how to work this thing. I'm trying to see where it went, and instead of doing all that, I'm just going to try and resend it.
Okay. Who else has it? Are you the only one to have it?
I have it. When I go down, I'll send it to you too. The 630 number.
Yeah, send it to me.
The front and back side.
Okay.
Right.
I will.
I tell you, I can't stand these phones.
Okay.
Trying. But oh yeah, he wrote.
You say what now?
She went out for a moment.
Oh, okay.
She'll be back. Yeah, we didn't hear you, Mildred.
He lied about almost everything that's in here.
Yes.
Just lied. And that ain't nothing but a campaign literature.
That's it.
And on the back, it says, paid for by friends of Joseph Rudez III. We the friends, okay? We are the friends. All the university power.
Now I want to know about this Zazer, the one that presented yesterday, whether or not we need to look at that list of his campaign contributions to see if they contributed to his campaign.
Were y'all on that Will County call where they were finding him for not paying something on time?
Right, I heard that, but I'm saying just wondering for some of these companies that's coming in, have they paid into someone's campaign, his campaign, and is that why they're coming in?
Right. Now that towing truck company called Coy, I heard that this is what I heard, that they have given to him in the past.
It's in the Moles account.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna check and see. Just curious, because if this person has presented 3 times and they have had a company that did that before for the village, they did not choose this one for whatever reason. So if they had already had a company in there and did it, just wondering what happened with that and why they're gonna choose this one.
Right.
What was that guy talking about?
Just finding money, basically finding money to make sure that the electric and our water and different programs are being coded correctly, where we're getting the right amount of tax money, and see if they can find us money that we lost on, that we could save them. Like if they was charging us at a 5%, we should have been charged at 3%. Then that difference, that money that we're gonna get reimbursed, they would get 45% of that money, and the village would get 55%.
Right. They came here before and did that.
Right, but it wasn't that company. It was a different company.
Oh, I thought that was the same man, Tom Fagan, but maybe not.
Right, he came and presented. Like he said, this was his 3rd time presenting, but they didn't use him. They used another company, and the other company saved the village money.
Okay.
And that's the one that had to end up suing, because the village kept all the money and didn't pay them their portion.
Do what they were, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll see. Well, ladies, I'm gonna get on off.
Me too. All right, guys. Yeah. Donna, don't forget to send that to me.
Okay, as soon as I go down, I'm gonna send it to you.
It was nice talking to you, ladies.
You too. Thanks for coming on, Katrina, and telling us your story. Thank you, Mary Ann, for your story. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Both did a good job.
All right.
Excellent. All right, we'll talk later, guys.
All right. Have a good night, ladies.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye-bye. Hey, Robin.
Hey. Hey, boo.
She's gonna show her face at the end.
You know I'm doing 50 million things. Homework.
I know, child. I was like, this girl. I was gonna tell you. I was gonna call you and tell you you need to take a break. You're doing a lot of stuff, but I know you can't take a break. But you know.
Yeah.
Need to.
Yeah.
Don't overwork yourself.
I know. I need to just get some sleep if I could ever do that.